Kinect will change living room entertainment forever.
Yes. The Kinect. The thing that was supposed to change gaming. The device that Microsoft bet the whole Xbox brand around. Well, if you're a fan of the device, if you own an Xbox One S or an Xbox One X and haven't already got an adapter to be able to use the Kinect, well, I have some pretty bad news for you. What is going on, guys? Randall Thor 19, the man with the million, back again with another video. And before we get started, make sure you check out my last video about the rumor from Dreamcast Guy about the next gen Xbox coming in 2019. Check it out if you got the time. I thought it was a pretty good video. A lot of interesting information. Now, today's video is going to be about the Kinect. And it's dead. I mean, it was always dead. It was dead as soon as they removed it from the console kind of officially back in 2014. When they took it out of the packaging so you could buy the Xbox One by itself. It was only a matter of time before it was officially dead. And, you know, when Microsoft released the Xbox One S, when they released the Xbox One X, and it came with no proprietary port for the Kinect, you knew the writing was on the wall. Now, Microsoft were selling the Kinect Adapter that you could use on the S or on the X, and if for a while they were giving it away for free if you bought the Xbox One X, or the S, sorry, mind you. I always get the two of them. A little confused there, a little slip of the tongue, S and X. If you had the S and could prove you actually owned an Xbox One OG, they would actually give you the Kinect adapter for the S for free. Pretty good deal. Now, a lot of people didn't upgrade to the S right away, mainly because also at the same E3 where they unveiled the system, Microsoft also officially unveiled the X. So some people didn't want to get the S because they felt it would be a waste of money because they would want the better version, the more powerful system, the most powerful console ever, just coming a year later, so they held off. However, Microsoft didn't keep that program running, right? They told people, hey, if you want it, you're going to have to pay for it, and it was $40. Well, officially, word came down yesterday from Microsoft that they are not only no longer making the Kinect itself, which they discontinued months ago, but now they are no longer making the adapter for the Xbox One S or the Xbox One X. And if you don't have one now, good luck finding them. Now, this was their official response. They go, after careful consideration, we decided to stop manufacturing the Xbox Kinect adapter to focus attention on launching new, higher fan-requested gaming accessories across Xbox One and Windows 10. As for any plans to bring the item back in the future, the representative declined to discuss Microsoft's product roadmap, but said the adapter will no longer be available. That's got to burn for people that were, haven't bought it yet. And if you're looking to buy them from Amazon, well, I have even worse news for you, because these things on Amazon are pretty expensive. As you can see, they look like they're going for around $300. $300 for this stuff. For third-party sellers on here. A lot of people are trying to price gouge the adapter. And even on eBay, $150, $200 for used adapters. So a lot of people are trying to take advantage of the fact that Microsoft has discontinued the program, discontinued the adapter, and there are people out there that maybe want it. Because honestly, you remember when Microsoft first announced the X. They made sure to say all your accessories will work. Controllers, headsets, all that stuff. But the one thing they kind of forgot to talk about was the Kinect because the Kinect doesn't really work on the X without the adapter. And now the adapter is no longer to be able to bought. And if you do want one, you got to go through third-party options, and that costs almost as much as the system. So, maybe Microsoft lied a little bit there when they said that your accessories would just work. But then again, it is the Kinect, and it was always going to die the second Microsoft removed it from the console back in 2014 to basically save their system. Now that we have this out of the way, now that we've talked about the adapter stuff, I want to take kind of a look back at the Kinect. And, you know, there is a video out there that I want to run here for a second. And I just want you guys to listen to this ad for the Kinect that is going to play here. And just kind of take in the promise of what Microsoft was trying to do with the Kinect. So listen to that, and I'll be right back.
We started with a sensor that turned voice and movement into magic.
Xbox, play.
And we thought, this will be fun to play with. And it was. But something amazing is happening. The world is starting to imagine things we hadn't even thought of. Unexpected things. Helpful things. Beautiful things. Inspired things. Which is why, even though the world keeps asking us what we'll do with Kinect next, we're just as excited to ask the world the same thing.
Now, as crazy as this is going to sound, that ad I actually really enjoyed because it encapsulates the potential or the promise that the Kinect had at the time Microsoft was trying to sell this device to gamers and non-gamers alike. When you watch that, I can't help but be transfixed by, man, this is some really cool technology. The lady playing the violin, the students in class, you know, navigating their way through the DNA strands, the doctor who's about to perform surgery, looking at the CAT scans of the person's brain. All those images and all those different things in that ad go to highlight what the future could have been with the Kinect. And that was one thing Microsoft was very good at selling it to consumers, especially non-gamers. But then the reality set in. Then we actually got the E3 where they demoed games. And you had, hey, you ever want to know what the bottom of an Avatar shoe looks like? No, I never wondered that, and I never wanted to see that. Hey, what about Kinectables, Star Wars games, Dance Centrals? And then we slowly started to realize that the promise, the potential of Kinect was never going to be realized by these crappy shovelware games these developers were foisting upon us, from the Ubisofts, the EAs, the Activision, to Microsoft themselves. They're selling this highbrow future tech, but then you get stuff like Kinect Sports, which is just a Wii Sport knockoff. A Kinectable, which is a game where you just pet a tiger. And a whole bunch of other nonsense. Now there are a few games on the platform that I did enjoy. The Gunstringer and Fable Journey, to name a couple. And I played a lot of the games the Kinect had to offer. But it never lived up to those ads. It just was a complete letdown. And honestly, when looking through the footage of those E3s where they showed this stuff off, I gotta say, that wasn't an embarrassing time to be an Xbox fan. We had to sit through Don Matrick, who basically looked like a used car salesman, trying to sell us hardcore gamers on Kinect Adventures, on Kinectimals, on Kinect Sports, and a whole bunch of other Wii knockoffs. It was embarrassing. It was cringe-inducing. But it worked. It didn't work on hardcore gamers. It worked on the non-gamer crowd, the ones who were into the Wii. They bought that system and that technology, that accessory, in droves. It's the fastest selling tech device or consumer tech device or whatever they call it, right? It sold like 30 million units. It was a huge success. And that's kind of like the bad thing about it. It was this gigantic success, and Microsoft ended up thinking that's what everybody wanted in the future, and they designed the next system around a device that the hardcore gamers just didn't care about. And I remember back at that time, back in those years, when we would have those E3s, and we'd have to sit there and be subjugated to that Kinect demo, to Usher singing on stage, to the dude dancing the Dance Central, and all the other nonsense that Microsoft felt was worthy of an E3 press conference. And at the same token, also having to watch Sony's press conference when they talk about Uncharted and Last of Us and the other games that they were planning. And I just felt at the time, man, Microsoft just doesn't get it. They're clueless. But yet I'm an Xbox fan. I go along with it, right? I get the Kinect. It's garbage. I've said it's garbage since day one. I hated the thing. And that there's a bunch of people out there, they're like, I like the Kinect. The games are cool. I like the voice chat. I like the communication. Ugh. I don't get it. And it's not just me, not liking something that other people like. I just don't get it. I never liked the thing whatsoever. And it always kind of it doesn't bug me. I'm just confused when people tell me they like some of these crappy games on the system, or when they say, I love the Kinect for the navigation on the home screen, or the voice commands. It's like, you didn't need voice commands. You can use voice commands right now on the system with your headset. You don't need a $150 peripheral that makes your system $100 more expensive than your competitor just to do voice commands. Right? You don't need any of that stuff. In fact, when I was just talking about the adapter, the Kinect adapter, Microsoft made it so you can actually plug in your USB camera and use that if you want to stream on Mixer. You can use the headset to do all the Cortana commands if you want to. So they basically replaced the Kinect. You don't really need it. But this is one thing that I didn't get, man. I did not get the love of Kinect. I don't know why it sold 30 million units. And I don't know why Microsoft felt so confident in it that they decided to bet the entire future of the brand on this device. Paired it with the system. I don't get it. And what really sucks is, like I said, watch that ad. The ad's great. Whoever their ad agency they hired did a great job. Like, I watched that stuff and I'm like, that sounds really cool. But then you get to the reality of it. And it wasn't cool. It was terrible. And honestly, I know people at Xbox worked hard on getting the Kinect ready. They poured their, blood, sweat, and tears into it. So this might sound a little bit harsh if you're one of those people, and I am sorry. I know you did your best, and I know this isn't anything against you. This is more of like the corporation, Microsoft's deciding it was important. Like, what you created was kind of cool in a certain way, just not for gaming. And I kind of feel bad. This is where it ended up. And now, of course, consumers have to suffer because Microsoft was shoving Kinect down everybody's throats since 2009, 2010. They packaged it in with the system. And even though there's no proprietary port on the S or X, there are a lot of people who own the Kinect who now, unless they're willing to spend $300 on Amazon or $200 on a chance on eBay, now have a worthless device sitting in their house that they can't use when Microsoft themselves said all accessories would work on the X, which didn't really turn out to be true now, did it? So the Kinect is dead, officially, no longer in production. Kinect Adapter ceased to exist. And I actually couldn't be more happier. I'm glad to be rid of this era of Xbox. But I know some of you out there are probably upset that you won't be able to get the adapter, and I'm sorry for that. But anyways, guys, that is just the video. I really hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, make sure you hit that like button, share this out on Twitter and social media and all those great places. Subscribe to the channel if you're new or haven't already. Make sure you hit that notification bell so you're always notified when I drop new videos, as it seems YouTube doesn't really send out notifications all the time. So make sure you do that if you want to be the first, to watch one of my videos. Make sure you comment below. Let me know what you think about Kinect. Are you upset that you can't get the adapter? Are you glad to see Kinect go away like me? Well, make sure you let your voice be heard in the comments below. Thank you guys so much for watching the video, taking the time out of your day to do so, and I'll see you in the next video. Later, guys.